Hey guys, this is our first episode of Film Room, and today we're going to be analyzing Drew Lock. So to start off, we're going to go over his notable stats. Most notably, in my opinion, his record was 4-1, and he went 3-0 at home. So next, he had 1,020 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions, and you can see how much that is per game. Next, he had a 64.1% completion rate and only a 3.1% sack rate, which was the lowest amongst rookie quarterbacks. His quarterback rating was 89.7, so definitely some room for improvement there, but not too much. So this scaled full season projections, you're going to see this a lot. The idea is Drew Lock only played 5 games. What if he played 16 games, essentially just scaling the numbers he had up to 16 games? So we start off with his 80% win percentage, which I'm going to be comparing amongst the rookies because I don't think it's particularly fair to compare amongst other quarterbacks. So that 80% win percentage is first amongst rookies, second being Gardner Minshew at 50%. Next up, his 3,300 yards would be second amongst rookies. Kyler Murray at 3,722 yards would be first. His 23 touchdowns would be second amongst rookies. Daniel Jones was on pace to hit 32, but he only started 12 games. 10 interceptions would also be second amongst rookies, and we see Gardner Minshew was on pace to hit 8 interceptions. So the thing about these stats is when you take Minshew, for example, Minshew started 12 games. Daniel Jones started 12 games. Kyler Murray started 16 games, so that's the only somewhat solid comparison. But the thing about Minshew and Daniel Jones is these were both quarterbacks who didn't play the full season, but also didn't start the full season. They started 12 games each, but Daniel Jones did come in for 14 games. So these numbers will be a little bit off, but these are Drew Lock's stats. We can clearly see he's first and second in all categories amongst rookies. Not all categories, the significant categories. So first up, let's look at the improvement, where Drew Lock can improve as an NFL quarterback. He's a young player. There's definitely room for this. Let's dive into that film right now. So, Drew Lock, a few notable things just off the setup that we can see. We noticed that he is much taller than some of these guys here in his offensive line. So that allows him, he can see here, he can see here, he can see here. He can see everything over his offensive line. And that's one of the traits of a tall quarterback that's always looked for. Now, into his actual film, let's play this play. So the idea of this play is it's just a really bad throw. He really shouldn't have thrown this ball. Drew is like, why are you throwing this ball? So let's go back. Let's reset. Okay. So it's a play action, obviously running back. You're gonna see this tight end come on right here, sit. Okay. But the thing is, why this is such a bad play is because this defender comes up and jumps this right there. So you're seeing this defender slide in there, and you still throw it at the guy. He's clearly sitting in a zone. It could be a zone. It could be man. I'm not really sure from this play what his assignment was, but it's clear that this was just not the throw to make, and we'll see right here. He just sits there. He just sits there in the zone waiting, and it's just not. So I want to do this play really slowly. So let's dive right into this play. And this is like a standard rookie play, in my opinion. I'm going to play it really slow so we can see the setup. But the idea is it's just a play action. You're going to see right here the long line breaking. It looks like there's three men in the zone. This guy's here. They're all watching. They're staying near the offensive line. And why this play was so horrible to me, I found this really, really, really upsetting, is because, Drew, you're a college football quarterback who played 4 years, and you cannot see that there's a defender right there, right there, watching everything you do. And what thing is that Drew, he sees this guy, okay? He assumes, okay, he'll come here, and this is an easy little catch. He can maybe go towards the sideline or whatever. But he has to understand, like, it's 2nd and 2, okay? It's not 3rd down, it's not 4th down. Drew, this guy's coming right at you. I agree that you have to throw the ball somewhere. But ideally, like we're gonna see here, he throws it on his body. He throws it right to him, okay? And that's something that I found really frustrating because this guy, you look right here, he had that ball right in his hands. And it was just like, why are you throwing that ball, Drew? That's not a ball you should throw. Ideally, if he were to throw this ball, he would throw it somewhere here in this vicinity. But, okay, I'm sorry, that's actually intentional grounding. He would throw it somewhere. He would throw it here, okay? You just ground it, okay? Because you don't need to take the chance with that ball. And I just don't know. I think it's a standard rookie play. It's definitely a bad habit he should fix. But that's one of the first things I noticed right off the tape. This was his debut game, so I do give him that. All right, this next game, Kansas City. It's his first division game on the road. This is a simple Kansas City team. This is a play which, quite frankly, disgusted me. I know Drew was used to playing against SEC teams in college. Now, actually, first thing, let's look at the situation. You're down 3-23. It's 3rd quarter. There's minor chance. Obviously, it's against the Super Bowl champions, later Super Bowl champions, Kansas City Chiefs. But there's still time to work. You don't need to panic. But this play, this is pure panic on Drew Lock's face. Okay, I want to play a little faster. So right here. Drew Lock goes to the outside. Good, really good play action, actually. Like, he knows how to do this play action stuff. So, good move. What we're going to see, I'm just going to draw it real quick. You're going to see Noah Fant. This is the receiver he throws to on this play. Noah Fant's going to run route like this, and he's going to go to the corner of the end zone, okay? So, first thing I notice is he's throwing to the guy going opposite, okay? Like, Drew, you're throwing across your body, essentially. Okay, you're throwing a cross-field throw. Now, this could work if it's one-on-one, but there's a safety back there, okay? So that safety's lurking in this zone, and it's just a really bad read on Drew Lock's part, and he's trying to do too much. Now, situation, 1st and 10, okay? Where are you? You're about, I would say you're at the 11, 12-yard line. All right, so let's play this tape. Just watch this throw. He rolls out to his right. So here's one thing, like, I get he wants to push his guy on, right? He's gonna push him on with his arm. But it's just like there's no need to throw that ball. Like, this is a double coverage ball. Noah Fant is contested by 2 players here. The easy throw, the best throw to make would be right here towards the sideline, out of bounds, because past the line of scrimmage, and it would just take you to 2nd down and 10 from the 11, run the ball, okay? And they probably could have gotten a touchdown or a field goal on this drive. But instead, Drew tries to do too much on this play. He tries to do too much, and right there, picked off. And this is also like, I just don't know. It's just not a good read at all. I don't know what he was thinking here. Obviously, even if he threw the ball here, even if he threw that ball there, like right, even if like Fant was all the way in this back corner and he threw this ball into that back corner, it just wasn't a feasible throw. It was just not a good throw to make. So I'm going to leave it at this. Now, his next play I'm going to look at, I think it's also in the Kansas City game. Yep, right here. So this next play, situation, 4th and 10, still 23-3, Kansas City. 4th quarter, 4:52 to go. So this game is pretty much over, I would say, at this point. But even then, this is something like he's got to know how to play under pressure. If this score was 23-13 or 23-20, I'm not sure he would have played this play differently, okay? He would have performed differently. So on this play, we're going to see a few simple route combinations. We're going to see this tight end, I believe. Let me go ahead and show you. Okay, we're going to see this tight end here. He's just going to run an He's gonna run a in route, a deep air in route. We're gonna see a corner route from Deshaun Hamilton. He's gonna be somewhere there, I believe. And then Sutton is gonna be either, if I remember, it was either a curl or a streak. I think it was a curl. So curl, uh, corner, and an in route, a deeper in route. And this play was a first down. And I'll show you why. Okay, so we're going to see his throw. Yes, I agree. Pressure in his face. Okay, this guy was coming right at him. Pressure, right, coming up at his face. And he's young, so obviously he might have panicked a bit. But this throw, now he throws it to this zone, okay? He throws it to this receiver. I see what he was trying to do. It was one-on-one coverage. His ideal thing is throwing here, but it's like this is the first down marker. Okay, right here. That's your first down mark. This is your first down mark, right? Obviously not perfectly straight, but I feel like if he was able to get off a throw here, we see this tight end. He could have put this ball right there, and that would have been a first down. Now, could he? He would probably have to run a little bit, but I'm sure. Like, look at how far this guy's off. That's a pretty good amount of separation. If this tight end just cut in, which it looked like he was about to, and Drew threw this ball right there, I'm sure that tight end would have come down with it, and it would have been a decent throw. So, a decent first down. And it wouldn't have mattered so much, but it's just like on this play, I guess his ideology was there's two receivers in this area. Let me take a shot. But he had an easy route right here, this tight end. Maybe not the Cortland Sutton or Deshaun Hamilton. Like he's used to a wide receiver. But this was just a good read. This was just a bad read. He definitely could have thrown this ball, got to an easy yardage. And it's just a rookie mistake. So I think a lot of these mistakes I pointed out are rookie mistakes on Drew's part. Let's switch it up to the positive film, the good, which is I think Drew Lock definitely did a lot of good things as a quarterback. So let's look through some of those. Okay, so these are good plays that I thought Drew made. You're gonna see here he's gonna throw to Cortland Sutton at the bottom of our screen. He's gonna throw a simple. I think Cortland comes in like a post round and cuts out. Okay, and this is just a really good, I would say, good habit by Drew Lock. We're gonna see. Let me just play it. Okay, so here we go. He's gonna. This is the play. So I went a little fast there. But look at this. So Cortland's running that route. Okay. But what really, 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 really impressed me on this play and showed me that Drew is available, is ready for the NFL, is he realizes that okay, this pressure's coming. He sees a hole here. He takes his route and he gets himself the most open view of the field possible. Now, not necessarily to throw a Cortland Sutton here. Maybe the route was like this or something, and he would have had that. But this is good habit. He's trying to get the best view possible, and this would have been an open look at these two receivers, maybe even these ones on this side, but that would also be a crossbody. So mostly these two receivers here. So you're gonna watch here. He's gonna step in, and he's gonna step into this hole and make that throw this side. It was a good route, but what an amazing throw by Drew there. This next play, we're gonna see, I believe, this fullback come and do a simple cross route. And the reason I like this play so much, I'm going to explain it here. So it's just a fullback coming out of the backfield and running a crossing route. But look at the pressure in his face. They're sending how many people? They're sending 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 people coming at him. That means there's a free defender coming right in his face. And look at this throw. Perfect ball placement. It's just sensational to me to think a rookie quarterback can make that throw. So good throw by Drew Lock, well run route by the fullback there, and it's just good rack yardage. He just knows how to. That was just a good play altogether. Now another play against Houston. This one was a ball placement play, which I really found impressive. I'm not sure which receiver. I think it's this one. He's gonna run basically a fade down the sideline. So here, let me just play it. Yeah, so it was the right receiver. Let me get rid of this drawing on the screen. Okay, yeah, so we're going to see a simple fade route on the sideline. What ball placement? I mean, first of all, the confidence on this play. Just takes a few steps back. He knows where he wants to throw it. He lasers it out there, and he puts it right in the bucket to his receiver. And that's just something which Drew Lock really like. This was like a perfect ball, by the way. It's not like I'm not exaggerating when I say it's a perfect throw. And this was one of his best games of this. Actually, I think it was his best game of the season. This game in Houston, statistically his best game. But this was definitely an impressive throw. Next game, I think this might have been 2 weeks after against the Lions. This is another kind of simple cross route. And one thing I really like about Drew is actually his play action. Like he knows, okay, let me do this, and he comes right here, and he knows that he can just sit here and look and scan the field. He's got this right. He can scan everything because it's so open there. There's no defenders there. So we're gonna look at this play. You're gonna see, um, you're gonna see a little. Yes, another cross route. Yeah, I think it's another crossing route. So let me go back a bit. Yeah, so I think it's this receiver. This one. I believe it's Tim Patrick. He's gonna run a simple cross the middle again. The same similar play action one we saw in the Houston game. So Drew's just gonna bounce out here. He can sit here. But what he does, which impressed me even more, is that he knows he can throw. So even when his feet aren't set, he looks like he knows how to throw this ball. So he's just going to throw a simple run right to Tim Patrick, and it's just a really impressive play in my opinion. Um, Really good. It wasn't a touchdown, but it was a really well placed ball on the move. It's like his feet were clearly not set. He just knew that's where I want to throw it. He lays it in there. This another one from the Detroit game. We're gonna see Drew take his 2 steps back, like he always does, and just this one I remember. I'm trying to remember. Yeah. So this one was a good play because it wasn't necessarily a complex route. I believe it was just Cortland Sutton doing normal Cortland Sutton things. So let's still find him. So I think this is Cortland Sutton right here. So Cortland Sutton's just going to come in and he's just going to run a powerful route right here. It's like almost like a slant route, almost like a crossing route. This is something I saw in this Denver offense a lot, which I really like. It's just a simple cross route, and he's going to hit him. The trust that he has in Cortland Sutton is another trait which I love about Drew Lock. He knows who his number one guy is, and he can trust him. Cortland Sutton is a freak athlete. He's one of the most underrated players in this NFL right now. But to be able to put the ball anywhere and expect your receiver to go and get that, takes a lot of confidence. And I think Cortland Sutton being able to give that to Drew Lock is really important in his development. And finally, the special. These are plays which Drew really showed me that he is unique as an NFL player and can be the guy for Denver. So back to the LA game. This is his special tapes. This is a simple fade by Cortland Sutton. Once again, one of the best wide receivers in football, in my opinion. He's just going to run a simple fade route, and it's just perfect ball placement with pressure in his face. Let's just watch the tape. This is just impressive. Guys coming screaming right at him. This guy screaming right. I think that's Derwin James. Yeah, so Derwin James screaming right at him, and he can see he throws a perfect ball right there. And it's just really good ball placement in the face of pressure, which is a trait that some quarterbacks don't have. But to be able to throw that ball, it's just like, I don't know. It just gives me a lot of hope for this Broncos team, to be honest. Drew Lock really showed a lot of growth in this game. This was his debut game. But you're gonna see if he's able to make throws like that in his debut game and then he learns the system, you know what's gonna happen next. Next game, I think this was on the road in Houston, his first road game. This was just an impressive throw. So I think Fant is going to be manned up. This guy's manned up on Noah Fant. Fant's just going to take a little bit, a simple route. It's almost like a post, but it's just going to be right here. And this window is so tiny because I think this defender remains there. This is a laser throw. This is like one of the tightest window throws I've seen in a while. He perfectly placed it. Like, he knows that Fant was breaking, so he saw, like, right here. We don't see a whole lot of separation from Fant here, but we're going to go a little bit later, And we see that even here, his separation's not that much. So he would have to throw it somewhere here, and that's exactly where he threw it. He threw it exactly where he needed to. And that's just a perfect ball, really well placed ball, a good touchdown to open up on the road. And also sets the tone for the game that, oh, we're here to play. So, because that was a Houston team, which is playoff bound for sure. Now we're going to look in this game. This is his last game against Oakland. Um, this is like, wow. I think these next three plays are all are in succession from the highlight tape we took it, but it's just this is all the same drive, or I think of maybe two drives, but it's another one of those um, perfect throws, knowing your receiver plays, because this is Cortland Sutton, I believe. We're gonna see Cortland Sutton right here, the tall guy, obviously. He's just gonna come in and he's just gonna run a simple out route, and this was a great play by both Cortland Sutton and Drew Lock, and I'll explain why in a second. Um, so Cortland Sutton. Oh, my mistake. It looks like this might be Cortland Sutton. So I'm gonna just undo that. So he's gonna run this route. My bad. So this is just a good route by Cortland Sutton. Just gets open down the field, and it's a good it's a clean pocket so far, but he knows Cortland Sutton. Okay, I'm gonna try to improve this quality a bit so you guys can see. Um, okay, so he knows Cortland Sutton. He knows his receiver, and he threw this ball with such perfection, knowing that Cortland Sutton is the biggest guy here. Even if there's two Raiders on him, if he throws it up here, Cortland Sutton can go up and make that grab, and that's exactly what he does. You'll see here, it falls to the ground. Now, Cortland Sutton is an acrobat in the air. Don't get me wrong. Cortland Sutton is the best wide receiver in Denver for sure, and he's a really good aerial receiver. But even in double coverage, being able to throw that perfect of a ball is just wow. This next play, let's see against Oakland. Let's run it through once. It's a simple dump off to DaeSean Hamilton, but I think the reason I like this is because I feel like, you know, he could have waited a bit and possibly someone would have gotten open. But the idea is, you know the situation, 2nd and 5. Let's just get this first down. Let's move the chains. And this is something I saw from Drew. He's a very smart player. He take what the defense is giving you. Like, this is something I feel like a lot of quarterbacks don't do now. Just take what the defense is giving you. You're going to see right here, DaeSean Hamilton. You're going to see him just come here, simple, such a short route. Just take what the defense is giving you. This is something Drew Lock showed me he can do. Just just get that little simple dinky pass. You don't need to always do some acrobat stuff, some crazy circus stuff. You can just throw that little pass and you can get your first down. And it's just the awareness to just take that pass and not like try to do more than you have to. That's a good trade in Drew Lock, which we saw like throughout the year. He knows how to manage a game. Now, against the Raiders, I believe this was one of another Cortland Sutton play. Yeah. Oh, this play. Oh, wow. This one was truly, truly special in my opinion. This is the last play of my film tape, and I couldn't be more happy to have this one as the last one because this is one of the most impressive ones in my opinion. So right now you're going to see Cortland Sutton right here. Yeah, is that him? Okay, we're just going to watch the play once. There's Sutton right there. This is Sutton. Okay, so Sutton's going to come here. He's going to come like a drag route almost. But then when he realizes that there's something wrong here, that Drew Lock is moving out and he's trying to find something and no one's open, Sutton quickly turns up the field, and Drew Lock to realize this and to understand, like, okay, I don't need that. Like, I don't need to wait. He just finds his play. And it's just a really, like, once again, it's one of those short throws. That's about, what, 5, 6 yards, 7 yards? It's just, he's running this way. Yes, he could have thrown it here, but why take the chance? Like, he would have gotten a first down. I'm not going to lie. Like, we can see, like, right away. I think Drew Lock cannot run this guy. He could have just gone towards the sideline, probably slid around first down. But it's the ability to extend plays. He knows his eyes are focused on Courtland Sutton. He knows where he wants to throw. And he's just going to let Courtland Sutton move, and he's just going to take exactly what the defense is giving him. He finds open room. He makes the perfect throw. Now, Sutton's run after the catch, incredible, okay? That's incredible ability. But obviously we didn't show it there. But it's just pure intelligence from Drew Lock. These special plays, I think he's one of the smartest quarterbacks in the league. And I know as a rookie that's really hot take to say, but it's really impressive once you look over this guy's tape. The final thing we have to go over is Drew Lock's success checklist. So what needs to happen for Drew Lock to succeed in 2020? So let's start off with a strong defense. That's just the Denver defense needs to play well and give Drew Lock enough leeway where he doesn't have to go into a shootout with teams. He can probably get about 28 points on offense and win the game. Weapons. He needs weapons. He needs players to throw to. And that was one thing we saw him struggle with, is that he was really having to focus on Courtland Sutton a lot. Like, obviously, Courtland Sutton's an insane athlete, but that's just not a good situation to be in when you have to focus so much on one player on your offense. He needs a good offensive line just to protect him and give him the time. Obviously, he's shown that he can move around and stuff, but he needs an offensive line to be able to execute these plays to perfection. Chemistry with the receivers, I think this is just something he needs to – he only played 5 games. He came in late in the season, and it's just being able to throw to these guys day in, day out and understand your receivers, which I really think he got really, 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 really good chemistry with Courtland Sutton. So let's look over these few items here. As far as strong defense, is the Denver defense a strong defense? I'm going to give it a check. I think so. Absolutely strong defense. They got Jurrell Casey. They lost Chris Harris Jr., but replaced him with A.J. Bouye, which is, if not equally good, it's a little bit slight downgrade, but it's pretty solid, okay? Weapons. Wow. So I'm just going to give this a few checks. Let's give this a few checks. You got Jerry Jeudy, you got KJ Hamler, you got Melvin Gordon to complement Phillip Lindsay. This offense is loaded now, and there's no telling what Drew Lock can do with this new arsenal he has. Offensive line, I'm going to give this a question mark. I think you brought in Graham Glasgow, you brought in Lloyd Cushenberry, you brought in Atane Muti in the draft, but these two players, Cushenberry and Glasgow are probably starting, but they're also replacements for Ron Leary and Connor McGovern, who both left in the offseason. One thing I will say about the Broncos offensive line is they have some players there who are already a little bit suspicious. I would be suspicious of in 2020 because it's just like Garrett Bowles holding problem. It looks like Mike Munchak fixed that, but also someone else who has me skeptical is Juwan James, and they brought him in $40 or $52 million. He didn't play so much, but offensive line is a question mark for most teams. But let's move on to chemistry with receivers. Now, you did bring in Jerry Jeudy and KJ Hamler. You had that chemistry with Courtland Sutton. So I'm going to give a half check right here. Courtland Sutton. Now, Jerry Jeudy and KJ Hamler. Do I think that even in times of the pandemic, he can get chemistry with these two guys? Absolutely. I'm going to give that a check. Okay, so we see here Drew Lock has everything he needs to succeed. He has a strong defense. He has weapons. He has chemistry with his receivers. Although the offensive line is a question mark, I do think that if they're as good as they were last year in his 5 games with these new weapons and this new chemistry and the stronger defense, this Broncos team can go very, very, very far. And I'm warning you guys right now, do not sleep on this Broncos team in 2020. Thank you for watching.